Yes, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastically well. It's Connor here, and we are back with another episode of the Fan Phone In. Yep, we've not done this in quite a while now, and I understand that the football season is pretty much done at the minute. So we're just waiting for a few people to get on and have their say on what they're expecting the rest of the sort of 9 games to look like when it comes to Leeds United, obviously before the World Cup. I just want to hear what you guys are thinking on the season so far. If you are not a member of the Patreon account, we have another Generation Leeds episode out now. It was out today. So yeah, go over, check that out. We have a suggested episode by the viewers, which is 1 video a week, and we have a Generation Leeds episode on there as well. So make sure you check all that good stuff out if you're interested. Let's have a look. Super Leeds says, Bully B, hope you're all right, mate. Justin's in the building saying all Leeds, aren't we? Kim says, I'm ready for a phone-in cam for once. Hope to get a chance. Of course, Kim, just get in the background. Sujal, hello, my friend. Hope you're doing all good. And I can see our first guest in the background, who I've not spoken to for quite a while. And I'll just wait to get him on now. Paul, how we doing, buddy?
All right, Palio.
Hello,
okay?
I think your mic's off, mate. I think your mic's off.
Are we there?
Check the settings, mate.
Are we visual?
Everyone in the comment section below, if you can hear Paul, let me know. Let me know.
Hello.
How are we, Connor, mate? I can't hear you right yet, mate. I can't hear you.
All right.
Oh, God.
Come back to
nightmare. Paul, come back in, mate. We've got someone else in. I'll see if it is my end or your end, buddy. Aiden, are you okay, mate?
I'm all right, yeah. Bit bored of not having any football, but...
Good, man. Do you know what, mate? I think this is actually me somehow. Hold on. Speaker. Speak again, mate.
Hello?
Boom, we've got you. I've killed Paul there because it's my fault. Paul, don't worry, we'll come to you again, mate. Aiden, how you doing, mate? All right?
Yeah, all right. Not bad. Bit bored of not having any football, but hey-ho.
Yeah, it's a nightmare, mate. And it's I think with everything that happened with the Queen and this international break, and do you know what, with the international break, I always used to be really excited because you'd have Calvin playing for England, when he was playing for us, and that was always sort of a bit of an exciting moment. But it's just this is dragged, hasn't it, man? I mean, what have you been up to over the last? It's going to be I think now. It's been a 29-day gap, hasn't it? So I think we're on like 21 days. How have you filled the void?
I mean, it's been pretty dire, hasn't it? I mean, lots of schoolwork.
Yeah.
A-levels. Second club's final, so the Dutch league's still on. So.
Brilliant. Yeah. So you'll have taken a keen interest in the Louis Sinisterra signing then.
I thought that was like out of my career mode. That
was. Yeah. All right, Aiden. So, what are your thoughts so far, then, mate? Obviously, we've not done one of these in quite a while. It's great to have new guests on as well, like yourself. The season so far, Leeds United 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. A 5-2 loss at the hands of Brentford last time out. Who's impressed you so far, mate? And who are you thinking? What's your general perspective on Leeds United at the minute?
I mean, I think it's a bit bizarre that people will be like getting angry with us. Like, yeah, it was pretty poor to lose 5-2 to Brentford. Although I think that was a bit misleading. It was like 3 direct errors leading to goals. So it was a bit of a freak incident. But like, it took us so long last year to get this many points. And we beat Chelsea 3-0. That's still massive. I wasn't afraid if we generally outclassed them. So I think, yeah, this year's been fine. We've got to be happy with what we've got, and if you compare it to last year, it's a massive step up, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's I think a lot of people are saying that, mate. I think it's got to a point where when you get 1 point in out of 9 against the likes of Brighton, Everton, and Brentford, I think it's not a good running, to obviously the break that we've had, and with the teams coming up, we've got Villa, we've got Crystal Palace, we've got Arsenal. You are there's a need, really, I think, for Leeds to pick up points pretty quickly, because what you don't want, Aiden, is for it to get out of 15 points for Leeds to have 1 point. You need to start picking up points pretty quickly now, don't you?
Yeah, of course. And I think start of the season might have been a bit misleading because everyone was saying, we got our players in early. So perhaps we were just like more cohesive at the start of the season than a lot of teams that were still making signings and having new players needing to bed in. But yeah, like of course we need to start performing soon. But like we have 8 points, we're not rooted to the bottom of the table like it was last year. So I'll take it.
Yeah, it's a fair point, mate. And we've also we've also avoided that Manchester United game, which is always quite nice for us, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I hope I'll go to the one at Ellen Road, and hopefully we can see a bit of magic there too.
Definitely, mate. Well, Aidan, I appreciate your time, buddy. We're going to keep this moving on. I really appreciate you coming on, mate. And hopefully we'll see you again. As I say, we're going to try and make this a little bit more of a regular thing. But appreciate your time, Aidan.
Brilliant. Thank you.
See you later, mate. Bye. Yep, cheers for Aidan there for coming on. Really appreciate that. We're just going to get a couple of your comments in. There's a few people talking about a slight echo on the chat. Unfortunately, guys, you're probably going to get that, which is it's natural when people are coming in and going out. Obviously, Ross has said we can hear him, which is good. Unfortunately, people just aren't going to have the the right spec on every single mic, and I wouldn't expect that either. So. Theo says, how we, Connor, mate? I'm all right, buddy. I'm all right. I'm just a bit bored. I'm a bit bored at the minute. We need football back, so thank God for this week. Big Paul, my friend. Apparently, it was my fault.
I know, Connor. I'm wounded, my friend. I feel like you're too timing, mate. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, as soon as I couldn't hear you, I thought this could be me. It's probably me. And then as soon as I got Aidan on, I thought, no, I've done it again. But yeah, mate,
I thought it was my end of the bloody phone again. But no, how you doing, pal? All right.
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, it's good to chat to you. For everyone,
I mean, 29 days, bloody hell.
Yeah, for everyone who doesn't know,
women's football, it's got that bad.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Paul's been on the channel 3 or 4 times now. He's a good contributor to the channel for everybody who's new and all this sort of good stuff. But yeah, Paul, you text me today, mate, and you said I've got a few things to say. So, yeah. Paul, what's going on, mate?
Exactly. I mean, I think we've had a brilliant start. I mean, the Chelsea game were unbelievable. I mean, the benchmark that set that game were unbelievable. Everyone played. We've lost once. That's there. We got beat by Brentford. We got hammered by Brentford. Put that to bed now. I mean, just 29 days. Just oh god, it just feels like I'm lost.
Yeah.
I'm just how we're going to get there. But Villa next Sunday, so good game to bounce back. So Stevie G back down there with his tail between his legs. You know what I mean? But no, we've started well. Have you watched the new Academy? I watched it last night, the full 6 episodes. I tell you what, we've got some excellent young players in there. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I think I've watched 2 episodes, mate. I'm really impressed so far with Cresswell, how he comes across on camera. Even Somerville, because I'll be honest with you, I've never really heard Somerville speak before, but he seems like a really grounded lad. Obviously Gelhardt when it goes back to his home roots and stuff like that. To be honest, mate, I should probably do a review on it on the channel, and it's really good. I almost think that it's better than the other one in terms of getting to know the players properly. Obviously the Take Me Home doc that Amazon did. I'm actually really pleasantly surprised by how good the production is on that Academy Dream. It's good, isn't it?
I mean the footage, the drone footage, and the camera work is unbelievable. I mean, Thorpe Arch is looking brilliant now. It's looking absolutely fantastic, and it's just a setup now. It's just a setup Leeds United have got now, building for the future. Even Victor Orta says we have to build for the future. I mean, it's mainly focused on Lewis Bate and I forgot his name, the Scouse ginger hair kid. He's a bit of a character. It's quite funny.
Is it McGurk?
Yeah, he's very funny actually. He's a bit of a comedian.
Yeah.
Them two are like chuckle brothers together. Honestly.
Well, I was surprised by I was surprised by Lewis Bate as well, because he comes across like quite quiet, doesn't he, when he's been doing interviews and stuff like that. But he's quite a joker, isn't he, him and McGurk?
Oh God, they got together, didn't they? I mean, he's gone to Oxford now on loan, but
it just shows you though, doesn't it? I mean, whilst watching the documentary, it shows you how pivotal it is that they keep the nucleus of the squad. So obviously last season under Bielsa, we were drafting Gelhardt in, Greenwood, Lewis Bate, even Cresswell, and it absolutely crippled the under-23s season, didn't it? But I guess that's what it's there for, isn't it?
Well, exactly. It's just going back to the first team as well. I'm concerned about Bamford, mate. I don't think he's right. I really don't think he's right at all. I'm very worried about him. I mean, we just that firepower up front. Rodrigo doubt we're back for Sunday. Who's he going to play? Gallard?
Yeah, I think he's going to go Bamford, isn't he? I think it'll be Bamford, and then it'll be the normal three behind Aronson, Harrison, and Sinistera. But well, actually, Sinistera's touch and go, isn't he, with his flight? So that's going to be interesting. That's where Rodrigo might come in. But I mean, he said, didn't he, Jesse said that apparently he's been flirting with the idea of putting Gelhardt and Bamford up front. But me and my brother were talking, Paul, and I was thinking to myself, you're just not going to see that consistently because of the injury record. You're just not going to see that with either of them because Bamford is notoriously injured and Gelhardt does pick up knocks as well. So I don't think you're going to see that consistently throughout the season, a Gelhardt-Bamford partnership.
Yeah, I mean, the young Italian lad, is it Willie? I'm rubbish with names, but
Nonso, Nonso, yeah.
He I hope he makes the bench on Sunday. He looks a good piece. Bit stocky lad, big lad, but he's fast. I mean,
yeah. It'd been lovely to see. In a strange sort of way, I kind of wanted him to get a goal against England. It was quite a weird sort of thing, but yeah, I mean,
So what? So I'll be caught 29 days without Leeds United.
I don't know what. I'll tell you what, I've got a tattoo, mate. That's how bored I've been.
It's not a Man U tattoo, is it?
Yeah, no, it is brand new. Yeah, so I just thought I'm that bored, but no, mate. I don't know what I've just spent a lot of time with family, thinking of content ideas, thinking about doing a bit of reading, but just not. It's been turgid. There's no other sport that levels football.
Not Leeds anyway. Not Leeds.
No, not Leeds.
To watch other teams, but nothing compares to our team. Honestly, it's like it's in your DNA, and when you don't get your DNA, it's like a drug.
It is, mate. It is.
It's like going cold turkey. You know what I mean?
But listen, mate, it's been a pleasure. I'll give you a message, all right? And cheers for coming on, mate. I appreciate it.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Paul. Yep, there we go, everyone. Paul in the building there. Great to speak to him. Obviously, a regular on the channel when it comes to the phone in. Guys, if you want to come on, make sure you get your. Just let us know. Just let us know. There is a link right at the top of the chat. If you just want to scroll up, hit that StreamYard link and you'll be put on through. As I say, I'm going to try get through to absolutely everyone. As you guys know, with these, they can go on for a couple of hours. And I've just finished work. So just give me a little bit of time. So we're going to get the FMP channel in. Hello, my friend. Are you okay?
Hello, I'm great. And you?
Good man. What's your name?
I'm Kim.
Kim Barner.
Yes, that's right.
Hello, Kim. Hello. Nice to put a name to a face. What's new then, Kim? How have you dealt with this barren spell of non-Leeds United?
Well, I've been bored, to be honest. I've been very bored. Also, I would have liked to play Manchester United. I know you wouldn't, but I would have liked to because, better now than when they get their shit together.
Yeah. It feels like this. It feels like they're slowly turning it round, Kim. But what I will say is, it seems like we'll be able, hopefully anyway, touch wood, we'd have been able to deal with them a little bit better in this regime under Jesse Marsch.
Anyway, there's one thing I want to say, and that is Wilfred Gnonto. I think we have a gem in him. I think he will surprise us if he can play on the international team of Italy and win against England. I mean, he didn't do it himself, but if he can play on the national team of Italy, don't you think he's good enough for Leeds? I mean, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you'd expect so, wouldn't you? I mean, he's only 18 years of age as well. I think that's his fifth appearance now. He's played against Germany as well. So maybe you're right, Kim. I mean, we've not seen enough of him, but I tell you what, with his attributes, especially with his pace, it would be very, very exciting with obviously the 5 substitution rule now that we have in the Premier League. It'd be fantastic to see him, come on for the last 20, 25 minutes against Aston Villa, an unknown quantity, someone they're not going to be aware of. Throw him on there and see what he can do.
I mean, if you compare him to what we've had last season, like Daniel James, not a striker, as we all know. I would rather have Gnonto, and his speed seems to be of another world. I mean, we lack that speed. Bamford hasn't shown it the few times he's been in. Gelhardt, he's not fast. Rodrigo is not fast either. So I think he would be a very good addition. I mean, I understand he's 18, but again, why not? He's ready for national team football. I would admit that probably it's more difficult to play in the Premier League than it is to play some national games. I mean, you have a few games a year as a national team, and usually you play against teams where the players, they haven't played together that many times. It depends which team you're playing, of course. Germany is a good team. They have a lot of experience. And England, oh my God. What do you say about that? You're out of the A League in National League. You're going
do you know what it is as well, Kim? I don't know if anyone in the chat, and this is really interesting. Where are you from, Kim?
I'm from Denmark.
Denmark. Okay.
Oh yeah, we're still in A.
So I think I don't know. I'm not. Is it right to say I'm not like patriotic? I don't know. Maybe it's because I've got a lot of different bloods in me from my family. So, but I do like England. I will support them at competitions, but I am not. It's Leeds United for me, and that is it. Really, I mean, I'll get.
You know, I was actually very thrilled when Leeds United, they came back where they belong in the Premier League, because I've been a fan since 1970s. You know, I remember Billy Bremner, Peter Lorimer, and all those players, and I was thrilled to see them back after so long. I forgot about them almost. I didn't follow them, to be honest. I didn't follow them when they were down in the Championship so much. I mean, I noticed that they were at the top when they moved up. Also, the year before, when Bielsa, he didn't succeed the first time. Luckily, he did the second year. But I noticed that they were there, and I was crossing my fingers, because I'm one of those fans that I follow the Premier League. I have to be honest. And the lack of Leeds in the Premier League, maybe someone will kill me now. I followed Liverpool.
Oh,
I know. Ooh. But you know, I'm the kind of fan, I like Premier League, and if there's not the team that I love, I have to find someone that I like, and that was Liverpool. Actually, I like Liverpool for one reason only. I started following them when the Danish Jan Mølby was playing. That's when I fell for them, and also they are an interesting team to follow. They haven't been lucky either. They have had a dry spell, even though they've been there always, you know, like Leeds, but not the same way. They had a dry spell. They didn't make much, but let's forget about Liverpool. Please. Leeds,
please.
My heart belongs to Leeds, that's for sure. And
Kim, can I ask you about one Rasmus Christensen? What have you made of his progress so far at Leeds United?
Well, he was better playing for the national team before he transferred to Leeds. And I think maybe the step up to Premier League has been a bit harsh for him. But I think he's improving, not as much as I would like, but maybe that's also because the whole team is new. Mostly, I mean, half of the team is new, right? We have the whole midfield is new. We have the Aronson and Rodriguez not used to playing the striker role, which he's played very well, I think, for this season. I think Rasmus Christensen have done well, and he will be even better. But he needs to step up his game defensively. I agree with you on that. I agree with all the critiques you've had about him. And I think the competition between him and Ayling is a good one. Also, Drame. I think Drame is also a candidate that could step up. It's good if we have three. That's not a bad thing. And forget about using Dallas as as a fullback, please.
I'm glad you've said it.
I mean, play Dallas where he's better in the center, and maybe even attacking mid he could, but he's a center mid.
I think the interesting thing, Kim, with Dallas coming back is obviously he's gone through such a horrific injury. Is he going to be the same player? He's obviously 31, 32 years of age now. Is he going to be the same player that he once was? That's going to be something that Leeds are going to have to really manage.
Maybe it's a bit like Forshaw. You can compare him with Forshaw, because Forshaw also came back. He did okay, but only okay. I think he lacks the speed. He have the intelligence. Forshaw is a very intelligent player, but he lacks a little bit. He's not a Premier League player.
No, he's not.
That's for sure. He needs to go. Maybe Dallas is on that track, but I would really love to see him step up again, because he's a very important player for the club. He's the bulldog. I mean, he's always fighting 110%. I love him. He's very good. But we need players like we've got now in Tyler Adams. Well, I think actually he's better because he's younger, he's faster, he's hungry, he's very hungry to show. He's not perfect, but he can get even better than that. And with the pair we have in the center midfield, wow. Roca is, I know, one of your favorites.
He is, yeah. He is.
I know that. Aronson is actually my favorite. He hasn't shown his quality the last 4 games. I think he was very good in the first few games, and then he disappeared.
Yeah.
What is to do about that? He should go on the right wing instead. I mean, on the right side instead.
Maybe, Kim. I thought he was really productive and good on the right, especially against Chelsea. I thought he was very, very good. He played the narrow system quite well, I thought. Sometimes Sinisterra is just so unique, isn't he? He's almost got a roaming role, which I do love. But I think Aronson almost is just an absolute menace on that right-hand side, especially against any left-back. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him there. I think Sinisterra, I don't know if he's going to make this filler game either. So I think you'll probably see Aronson on the right, which will enable maybe Rodrigo or Gelhardt to come in. So it's going to be fascinating to see. Kim, this has been absolutely brilliant. I'm just going to have to move on now, my friend, because obviously there's a few people in the back, but I really, really appreciate your time, mate. And there's some people saying that you've got a YouTube channel as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, I do.
So what do people
just look my name up, Kim Barner. Just look my name up, and you'll find it. You won't be able to overlook it because there are so many videos there.
There you go.
Especially a lot of. Thank you, and great channel.
Go check Kim's channel out, and Kim, hope to have you on again soon, mate. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you later, mate. Bye. There you go, Kim Barner from Denmark. We didn't see where Kim was from. My bad in terms of location in Denmark. A lot of people saying, is it Copenhagen? Is it somewhere else? I'm sure Kim will message me and let me know. But there has been a man waiting in the wings who I've not heard from for a while. Mr. Sujal, how is it going, my friend?
Hi, Connor. How are you?
I'm all right, Sujal. I'm not too bad. I'm bored.
We all are.
Yeah, how have you filled the last 21-ish days, Sujal? What have you been up to?
Just like you, totally bored and desperate to get back to weekend matches. Monday night football. I'm not a big fan of Monday night football, but we need to see Leeds playing again. And Villa on the 2nd, is it? We're playing them on the 2nd of October?
It is, mate. Yeah, this Sunday. Yeah. So, last time I spoke to you, I think we were just talking about the pre-season stuff, wasn't it? The majority of the stuff we were talking about friendlies that had happened, the transfer business. Sort of 6 games in, Sujal, 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws. What have you made of it so far, mate?
Better than last season. Last season we were struggling and anxious to get our first points. So, and I think this season is going to be a bit like that. We're gonna get whacked a few games. We have to expect that. Man City probably are going to come and cane us.
Arsenal's probably another one in the near future,
Arsenal
isn't it?
Are doing extremely well. My older son supports Arsenal.
Oh dear.
I'm sad to say. My younger one, who's sitting opposite me, supports Chelsea. But
Oh, Sujal, yeah, you failed as a father. What's happening?
I know. I say that to my boys, and in fact, they say that to me. They say you failed. Why did you make us support some other teams?
It's because they saw the bright lights of the Premier League when we were going through the doldrums. That's it.
But unlike Kim, I supported at Leeds. When we were in Division 1, when we were in Championship, all those years in the middle tier.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been a bit like him. I've been supporting Leeds since. So I wasn't born here. I came here when I was 7, and I started support. The Chelsea Leeds rivalry, and when we lost
1972.
We were staying with a family who initially, and they had 2 daughters and a son. The daughters were supporting Chelsea, so obviously the boys couldn't support the same team. So I've supported Leeds. Odd stories, but that's why I've always supported Leeds. Anyway,
we're all about those odd stories. So what were you saying anyway, Sujal, about the start of the season, mate?
Yeah, no, better than I hoped for. Could have been better. I mean, the Brentford game, we were awful, and
not a 5-2 though, Sujal. I didn't feel it was a 5-2.
No, exactly. But and I think we may get a few more games like that. But it's been better. I think Jesse will slowly. This team will gel. And like Kim was saying, I think Tyler Adams has been brilliant. I think Christensen will improve with a bit of competition from Billy Boy.
What would you do there, Sujal? Would you look to implement Ayling straight away, or would you stick with Rasmus?
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right back and left back for us is a bit of a problem at the moment. Well, we haven't really got a left back because
strange, isn't it? Like, when you've not got a left back, there's almost like a solution that happens in a period of time where you can make those solutions happen. But there you go.
But I hope that we put enough goals in the other end. With Sinny's looks like he's coming good, and again, like Kim was saying, I think Willie Nyonto may be a surprise. I think Jesse was trying to bluff everyone to say, "Oh, he's only going to be in the under 18s or under 21s." But
I think that was a bluff.
I think he looked good. He looked good against Italy, against us in in the last match. And if he bangs in a couple of goals, we'll all be cheering his name, I think.
Yeah.
So,
I think the impressive one for me, Sujal's been Mark Rocker.
You said, Connor.
Said about 4 or 5 times a day.
No, I agree with you. He looks good. He looks like a bit of a midfield general, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And with Tyler Adams, I think they could make quite a pair. Those two.
100%. I think it's. I don't know if you feel the same, but I was having a chat with my dad today, and I think it's going to be maybe a case of it's quite weird Bielsa-isms in terms of Leeds having to still outscore the opponents. I still feel we're going to be fragile at the back, and I still think it's going to be heavily reliant on Leeds scoring more than the opposition.
Do you think Jesse's going to drop Llorente for this next match?
If he doesn't, I'll have to head on down to Ellen Road, I think.
I think you need to be on the coaching staff anyway.
I don't, trust me, I don't. But I think the thing is, Sujal, I think with him, he's just not a Premier League footballer, and and maybe that's a bit harsh. A lot of people disagree, but I think if I was a centre forward, and I've spoken to Brownie about this, but if because he was a centre forward and he played at a very good level, but if you're looking at someone like Diego Llorente, you're thinking, here we go. And I don't understand what sort of profile of a striker he matches up against in terms of a physical striker, a tall striker he really struggles against, and a small, diminutive, quick striker he also struggles against. And I think you can at least look at 3 or 4 goals this season that you could throw at his door. It'd be crazy to me if he's not dropped for the next game. Like I'm not a massive advocate, and I don't know what you think about this, Sujal, but I'm not a huge advocate of Liam Cooper because I want Leeds to evolve and move forward and all that good stuff. But if you're giving me a choice of Llorente and Cooper, I don't know about you, but I'm choosing Cooper all day.
Yeah. So who would you put in the back for Villa? Would you have Koch and Struijk, Colin Cooper.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, on the Patreon account we discussed this today, Sujal. If anybody wants to go over and check that out, but yeah, we had a chat today about that, and I originally said I'd want Firpo to come in, but then I believe it was Villa last time out, and it was one of Jesse's first games where we just got pumped 3-0, and I think Firpo, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, was at left back, or it will have been another one of those games where he just got absolutely tortured, and I don't know about you, Sujal. But he's just, for me, not a left back, another one who's not a Premier League footballer. And I would much rather, now thinking about it, I would rather have Yelder at left back or Strauch at left back, which is nuts to me, and just bring Liam Cooper in, partnering Robin Koch. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I do not trust Llorente one bit.
And imagine imagine a side of Llorente on the left-hand side, and then you've got Firpo on the left-back side. So that's your left side.
I know. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. To answer your original question, I think we're doing okay. What's it? 8? We're on 8 points at the moment.
8 points, yeah.
8 points, 11th. I think we're 11th, aren't we, at the moment?
11th,
yeah. So let's keep our fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, and let's hope we can pick up a win against Villa, Sujal. But
yeah. Are we at home? Are we at home at Villa? Are we at Ellen Road?
At home. Then we've got Palace away, then Arsenal at home. The next 3. So yeah, we need to pick up some wins, don't we? Because I don't think we want to getting 1 point in 18 or 1 point in 21. It needs to come to an end, I think.
I mean, another 4 points, I'll be sort of happy, you know.
Yeah, I'd agree.
On 12, so let's see. You know, we're not going to be top 10, even though I think on our original phone in, I'd said to you, we're going to finish 10. Bit optimistic, I think. But
in all fairness, Sujal, I think we were doing all those predictions based on if Leeds were to maybe do a little bit more business in it.
Exactly.
It seemed like that deadline day was a bit of a car crash. So yeah. To put it lightly.
Anyway.
But Sujal, I really appreciate you coming on, mate. And hopefully when we do one of these again, I can see your face and we can have a chat again. All right, mate.
Pleasure. See
you later, Sujal. Bye. There we go, everybody. Great to see some regular contributors coming on as well. We'll just get into a few of your comments. Dow says we are 7th in the league in chances per 90. Bamford, I think, is the 3rd in the league with 0.8 XG per 90, despite having scored 0 goals. We need to at least match our XG. If we can do that, we'll be fine. It's interesting how a lot of you guys are speaking about that in terms of we'll be fine. That way of talking I find quite interesting at this moment in time in terms of we'll be fine. I presume that is from the drop, which is, I think it's quite a sensible way of looking at it. I think survival this year, as I've said to you guys from, 4 or 5 months ago, survival this year, I think is imperative right now. I think the board could have addressed that. And I think Leeds could be looking in a different direction if the board would have addressed certain positions. But I think, I'm of the same mindset as quite a lot of people. I think Yelder at left back, Pascal is our best defender. Nothing wrong with Firpo, says Justin. Fair enough. Firpo was at left back at versus Villa last season. Yeah, I thought he was, mate. Kim said Rasmus Christensen came on in the second half against Croatia, which we uncontrollably, unfortunately, sort of lost 2-1. Rasmus played okay, but he did not really have any importance as Modric. Isn't it crazy? Kim, our Modric still controls games. Incredible. Remember to press the like button, guys. Yeah, make sure you do that, guys. It just gives me an indication that you're enjoying it and you want to see this sort of thing again. So yeah, I really appreciate that. Ethan's in the building. How you doing, buddy? All good? Can't hear you, mate. Is that me? Let me know in the comment section below if that's me again. If it is, Ethan, I really apologize, but I think that might be you this time, buddy. Just keep. Are you there? Yeah, I can't hear you there, mate. Let me just get James in and come back in, Ethan, and we'll get you on, mate. James, can you hear me, buddy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Boom. Yeah, I can hear you, mate. How's it going, mate? All right?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good.
Yeah.
Ipswich lost today, so Leif Davis is officially incompetent to be a Leeds United left back, in my opinion. That's how boring it is. I know.
Did you watch it? Oh, there was a big comeback, wasn't there, in the Ipswich game? Was it 2-1?
Yeah, and he got subbed off in the 80th minute, and then Netflix took over because I'm literally that bored, football on. But yeah,
boring.
How you doing? You all right?
I am, mate. Yeah, I am. It's been a tough period. It has, and isn't it funny what? And do you know what, James? It's funny because I mean, me and you chat often, pretty much near on every day. But it's funny when people do talk about actually getting down when football's on. It's a genuine thing, isn't it? Like Pete, like I mean, I've just felt myself sometimes just been like, what is there to do now? It's a proper thing. You can understand all the the chat during COVID where people were actually going into bad places, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just weeks feel longer.
Yeah.
So something to look forward to at the end of the week. And it's definitely for like the working class man, really, into football and sort of uniting everyone as a community, wherever you're from. So just been boring, but just keep it occupied with other sports as and when, and watching other people's games. So it's nothing like watching your team play and stuff like that. So,
but then do you know what the thing is, when they're playing, I'm just like, I wish they weren't playing.
Yeah.
they make me that stressed.
It's a bit like last season when sort of cramming all these games in. God knows what it's going to be like over Christmas. Working and trying to find out. We were higher up in the table until teams started playing again, and now we're dropping places. And it's a bit like last season where we're like, right, okay, getting the old calculator out and working out how many points you need to survive in the league. So
it's been a bit of a mad. I mean, Brighton. I mean, you chatted as well, and Brighton, Everton, and Brentford is sort of a trio. I was not expecting, but I thought, listen, if we could get 5 points out of that'd be an unbelievable return. A couple of draws and a win, and keep up that momentum, that early season momentum where battered Chelsea with a better team against Southampton, should have won. Obviously, beat Wolverhampton Wanderers. Keep up that momentum. What's happened, James? Is it can you put it down to injuries, or do you think I don't really know what you're putting it down to, or is it just the sort of real Leeds shining through where we're getting exposed a little bit?
I think it's generally is like sort of. I think you hit the nail on the head. I was a bit like Bielsa style in the sort of way. I think it's just how we play. Obviously, out of all the players who came in, I didn't pin down Christensen to have such a terrible time he's had done.
Yeah,
so
I didn't either. I
thought he would be a nail on, sort of slot in, be some real competition. But I think it's just the way we play. It's a lot less constricting in man-for-man marking, but in sort of, they can just do a long ball over the top, and we have to shift to the other side of the pitch. And it was something mentioned in that Jackson in that Academy Leeds documentary that was finished today. He mentioned about that, so just something they got to be wary of. But I just want to actually mention about. I feel a bit sorry for Jack Harrison, to be honest, not getting an England call up, and I really hope that he doesn't see that he needs to move on to
interesting. Yeah,
get that call up. I mean, Calvin got a call up at Leeds, and I feel a bit sorry for Robin as well when that young Southampton defender got called up to the Germany squad, and he didn't. So, I feel a bit gutted for them too, really, because I think they've been the sort of standouts for me so far.
Yeah, it's almost like it doesn't base like for me. It's not on a meritocracy, is it? It's not based on your performances. It's based on. I mean, if you want to touch on England, mate. I'm interested in them, but I just almost find it comical watching England.
Yeah.
And the saga that goes round Southgate and just how embarrassing it is. Like how Jack can't. I mean, I've been his biggest critic as well, but how he can't be called up after his performances, and apparently there's dialogue between him and Southgate saying, where I'll keep it up, and we'll keep looking at you. It's like, well, I mean, you've just got your favourites in that side. You've got Luke Shaw, you've got Harry Maguire, you've got people who are not even playing. They're not even playing in the Premier League. Yet Jack Harrison, who's playing week in, week out, putting in stellar performances, can't get a look in. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I mean, you even look, and I hate saying it, but you even look at Jaden Sancho, who's had a really decent start to the season. He's kicked out, and Grealish is in there when he's barely been playing, really.
Yeah, Jarrod Bowen been called up.
Yeah, it's just it's nuts in it, mate. But I think we just mentioned it beforehand. It is the next maybe not. Well, yeah, probably 3 games, but you've got 9 games before the World Cup, 5 games, obviously coming up in quite quick succession. they've got to start. Leeds have got to start picking up points, haven't they? Because 1 point in 9, you don't want that turning into 1 point in 12, 1 point in 15. We've really got to. I mean, my thought process. I don't know if yours is similar, but I'm thinking the Villa game. It's almost in must-win category.
I see it like that because I think this time before the World Cup, it could really make our season. Because worst case scenario, and I don't want to see it, but it's got the making to be. It could be a similar season like last season, which I really don't want it to be. Relying on Sinister like we did with Rafinha, Jack Harrison being in and out, Bamford being injured, still not got a left back, still not got a striker. So it could be last season 0.2, but hopefully, people step up and the new signings are fit. And yeah, it does feel a bit like a must win. And hopefully it gets something at Palace as well, even though it's always been a tricky game for us.
What do you think to the young lads? Obviously, you got Sonny Perkins, who's flying at the minute. Got a 33-minute hat trick for the under-19s last night. Obviously, Willie Gnonto, who's coming on against England, made the Italian national side. Obviously, you've still got Gelhardt in the wings. How do we manage these players? Where do we fit them in? Are they just bench options, or are you looking at some of them and thinking they need to be, starting or playing large parts in that first team?
It's weird because when we've seen Joffrey start, he's not. I wouldn't say he's been brilliant if you compare him to when he's come on for 20 minutes and half an hour last season. I'd like to see Gnonto play as a striker, but I don't think he'll ever get that opportunity with Leeds or with the Italian side. So I feel like his career very early doors will be playing as sort of like a winger, as a wide option. I think the one I would like to see have more minutes is the lad we got from Man City. I think he's been really bright. And then it's obviously a shame that Cresswell's gone out on loan, but hopefully he comes back and he doesn't see this as like the end to his Leeds career. He can come back, and because I do think he's future captain material. Really do. Hopefully.
Yeah. Have you been watching the Academy Dreams?
Yeah, and he comes across really well, like you said.
He does.
And it just there was a bit at the end when he was saying like, when they were just summarising it. Obviously, it's not giving anything away because we all know he's gone out on loan. But just saying that he's going out on loan and hopefully he wants to play and captain for Leeds. So hopefully he's still got that in mind because hopefully he has a good season and we can see as an option because I don't think Llorente is the answer, which I think every Leeds fan would agree. And I'm sort of glad he's been called up. Has he been called up to the Spain squad?
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah. So hopefully he's a bit knackered. I don't want him injured. That's an awful thing to say, but hopefully he's knackered and the manager can see that we can put a clean sheet without him. And then
that can't be based on meritocracy, can it? Surely.
No.
But yeah, I mean, obviously everyone's been talking about the back line as well. It seems like everywhere around the pitch, you're probably looking at the obvious things happening, aren't you? In terms of Bamford going back up front. If Sinister is fit, he's going to be going straight back in there. If he's not fit, you're probably looking at Aronson out wide and maybe Rodrigo in that 10 again. But overall, the back line seems to be the most sort of like talked about topic, really. So, I mean, there's conversations across the back line, isn't there? You look at Aylin or Rasmus. Obviously, Aylin did impress. It'd be interesting to see if he can consistently do that for 90 minutes. But for me, James, we definitely have been lacking a real presence on that right-hand side when it comes to, overlaps and obviously the fullbacks providing the width. You've obviously got the conversation there about Liam Cooper as well. Pascal coming back to centre-back, to slot in alongside Robin Koch and maybe Yelder or Firpo going in. There is so much that Jesse could maybe implement for this game and just going forward, really. I mean, where's your head at with everything?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to drop Rasmus just for his confidence. But then again, I can see in a game like Aston Villa where it could be beneficial to start Luke Ayling. But, I don't think Llorente is good in a back two, maybe in a back three. If we're playing 5 at the back, he could be there. But yeah, and sort of with Liam Cooper, I could understand he's a great leader at the back, but when we've seen him against like Barnsley and stuff like that, he's not really looked that great. But then again, it just shows how much of a thin squad we are in that area. Shame we can't bring Charlie Cresswell back on loan. I'm not saying just slot him straight in, but it's maybe I personally would put Yelder in, maybe. Probably over Cooper. But
all right, okay, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I see why you'd put Cooper in, just to be honest, because of the leader he is at the back. And yeah, it's the only side we're lacking, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting game. Justin's just said Ayling, Pascal, Koch, Firpo. Yeah, Justin's a big. Well, it seems like he's a bit of a defender of Firpo. Fair play, Justin. I would disagree with you though, mate. I know you're a fan of the channel, but listen, that's what
you're playing a back five. I put Firpo in.
Yeah, back five. Yeah,
but yeah, I think I see him more as like, personally, I think he's like a championship left midfielder.
Yeah,
I don't really see him as a sort of a Premier League defensively left back.
No,
going forward, he's been all right, but against the opposition of Blackpool and sort of the lower teams, it's not been. I'm not seeing a great performance against.
There's just so much of his game that I think he needs to develop, and he's 26. Like, I'd understand it if he was like 17, 18. But I think, even just the basics of being a left back, being side on when an attacker is running at you and he's square. He's always square. He's always flat footed. Like, when he's going forward, it's just that final third, even when he's going forward, I don't think he's that impressive. I think people almost add attributes on to overcompensate for how he lacks defensively. It's like, in the final third, he's decent. He's not. He'll always hit the first man. And I just think overall, his awareness. I remember Jared Bowen just tearing him apart last season. He didn't know where he was. Obviously, I think he was at fault for the first and maybe even second goal. I can't remember. But I just think there are so many parts to his game which are problematic at this stage in his career. I don't understand how he's going to improve.
Yeah, and I think it's also pressure on him because he's the senior left back.
Yeah.
Dallas isn't really a left back. And that's why I feel like it could be a season like last season, this season. We didn't sign a left back, we didn't sign a striker. So to relieve pressure off him, we can't just simply slot like a ready-made left back in there. It's either Pascal Struijk or Leo Yelder in there, and it's a lot of pressure on him. But
yeah, Tom's just said Ayling is centre back to bed, Rasmussen at right back, and Llorente back to Spain with Ryanair. I actually, the funniest thing is, it's not funny at all. But I would now look at him being. There's an argument. He's the fifth defender I would put in Llorente now. I think there's an actual argument that, well, for me anyway, that I will put Luke Ayling in at centre back over Diego Llorente now. It's for me, it's just got that bad with him. And I think teams now, James, are targeting him. I think we've seen that this season. They are targeting his touch anytime. I feel. I mean, you saw it with Brentford as well. There'd be 3 or 4 presses on his touch every single time. Teams know that he's a bit of a bomb scare.
Yeah, it's weird because obviously Bielsa was in charge when we signed him, and I feel like Jesse's just come in and people have let him know that Llorente is a first team defender.
Yeah,
and I think now's sort of the time where the penny might drop with him, and in his own system, he doesn't feel like he can play there. But then again, that's where the transfer sum comes in that we paid for him. The amount of minutes we gave him last season. So it's all these factors where it's like you can't just drop someone you spent, I think it was like 14 million on.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, he's just very rash. I don't think it's anything. It's just his decision making that lets him down all the time. He just sticks a leg out, and he's not particularly quick when we play the high line. And I think he's blocking the pathway for Pascal Struijk to be a centre back option, and he's also blocking. That's why I probably think why Charlie Cresswell did go out on loan, to be honest, because we're sticking with these options, but it's what it is. Hopefully he's knackered when he comes back and play somewhere else.
But what are your thoughts on the Villa game then? Do you think it's a game where I mean, it's got to be winnable, hasn't it? I mean, they've picked up 4 points in 6, to be fair, beating Southampton and drawn to City. But if you're Leeds, we've got to be looking at that and thinking 3 points, haven't we?
Yeah, and what worries me is the wingers have been quite good. Aston Villa this season. That who's that Jamaican winger? Bailey. Yeah. He's been quite good compared to last season. So targeted him against Firpo or Rasmus, who may have a difficult time managing him.
Yeah.
I do worry about that because in terms of their depth compared to ours, they've got more depth than us.
Yeah.
You could argue, they've spent a lot more money than us. But hopefully, when we played them pre-season, I didn't think we were out of place. We had some good moments. So hopefully it's similar, and hopefully Bamford's fit and he can actually get firing again, because I think it's important to him to pick up a couple of goals in his run as well.
Yeah, we need it, mate. We need it. James, absolute pleasure as always, my friend. I'll give you a message, and it's been absolutely exemplary. All right, mate. I'll speak to you soon. Okay.
See you in a bit. Bye.
See you later, mate. There we go, everybody. We're going to wrap up there with the fan chat. Really enjoyed it this week. Seemed a little bit more chilled, obviously, without any football going on. But I hope this has improved your week. We will be going live as well tomorrow morning to be discussing all the news regarding Leeds United. See if there's a few transfer bits in there just to keep you guys entertained and above board as well. I know this can be a little bit of a boring period for all of us, so don't worry. I'll be back with some chat tomorrow and through the week, obviously leading up to Aston Villa. If anybody in here fancies some bonus content, we have got Generation Leeds, which has been released today. That is on the Patreon account. Links in the description below. It's a $5 a month, and that helps the running of the channel. So yeah, I really appreciate any help there, and you get some content for it. It's not just you paying money or whatever it is for nothing back. So yeah, Justin said, when's Connor and Dad? Dad wasn't available this week, mate, but so we had another guest on, but he is back next week. Don't worry about that. But yeah, really appreciate all of your time, everyone. Have a good evening, and I will see you in a bit. Cheers.